Welcome back to 30 something. This week we have a tremendous book that we are critiquing, and we also have a very lovable and enjoyable book that we recommend in Book of the Week. Now, before we get into it, you'll see in many YouTube channels that they have paid sponsored content, and that's something that I think all YouTube channels wish to get to, because it's going to help pay their kids through college or just buy and waste money on crypto. However, we are not at that stage in this channel, so until we do get paid sponsored content, I have some fictional content or fictional advertisers, and this week advertiser is BBW's Smokehouse. BBW's Barbecue House, and as you can see, it's owned by a wolf with three lovely looking pigs behind. So with this discount code, you will be able to get 20% off your first purchase or order. They are on DoorDash and based in Austin. So thank you for our first sponsor, BBW's Barbecue House, based in Austin, Texas. Now, there is the adage, a dog is not just for Christmas, it's for life. And the same goes with Christmas books. You're gravely mistaken that if you buy Christmas or festive related books, your child is just going to want to read them around the festive period, anytime from Thanksgiving till Christmas Eve, I guess. Nope, wrong. So you can really expect, when you do buy a Christmas or a festive book, that you can be reading this all the way up to June. So you may think I'm crazy, try it out. So word of the warning before you buy any festive related books, know that they're not just for Christmas. Okay, so the Christmas book that we are reviewing, or critiquing heavily as usual, is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Now, from my understanding, this was an old book or a poem of some sort, and this version has been heavily modernized, or they've tried to modernize it. Now, what I believe they've done here is, I don't know how well that's going to be able to be seen, but that's a recent car. Maybe a car from, say, 2017, a 5-year-old car. So I'm getting the idea that it's a modern day times. But it does confuse us as we go on, and I'll get on to that. So it was the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. So you might recognize that passage. But we do have a few curveballs in here, as I mentioned. And the first one is, when you're looking here at the kids, they're fine, they're sleeping. It's the parents. Now, with the parents here, you'll notice they have nightcaps on, or a handkerchief for the lady. This is what I'm guessing 2020 era. I don't know anyone that wears a hat to sleep unless they're incredibly posh or eccentric. The only person I know that may do this is Kanye West. So again, confusing. I thought this was done maybe in the 18th century, but apparently people still do it now in the 21st century. The next unusual thing that I discover when reading this particular version of the book is the main protagonist here, which is, and if you look there, he's taking his glasses off as he's running. I've seen this before somewhere, and it's none other than Clark Kent. This book is about Clark Kent's Christmas. So, we know it's about Clark, and really what happens, it's about his relationship with Santa Claus. And what Clark is seeing right now, to his surprise, reindeer and Santa, and he seems shocked. I mean, the man can fly himself and fire laser bolts out of his eyes, so I don't know why he's bloody shocked that there's a fat man in a red suit with flying reindeer. In fact, that's probably more believable than him. So let's jump forward to the part where Clark Kent actually gets to meet Santa Claus. Now, remember, this is supposed to be modern day, but it's so confusing. So, as expected, Santa comes down the chimney, and what do we see? We see him wearing Converse. A very thin fabric cloth shoe. Yes, it's hip, it's modern, but is it the best suited for cold, wet, snowy weather? No. It really isn't. So is this an imposter or is this the real Santa? I guess we'll find out. Now this particular version of Santa, and when we see him here, is very mischievous. I think he's, as we find out, is a very conniving Santa. He's wearing Converse and he's got a horrible grin. I don't know what he's going to do. Then what's worse, he lights up in the house. Now if you all remember going to nightclubs where smoking in clubs was legal, you got out the next day and your clothes just stank like smoke when you're in the shower. It's horrible. Nobody wants smoke in the house any days. So he's wearing Converse, but he's smoking a pipe. Surely, if this was a man that enjoyed smoking, he'd be vaping and on the pipe. So again, confusing. We have people going to sleep in hats, and we have a Santa wearing Converse and smoking a pipe. Now I said that this Santa was mischievous. I'm actually going to take that back. In this particular image, we're seeing Santa laughing while still smoking his pipe, not vaping. And he's knocked down the glass of milk, probably wanted a whiskey. And he's just leaving that mess whilst laughing. He's not conniving, he's just an absolute bastard. Now, with Clark, we know that he has superpowers, so if somebody was doing this to my house, I would use my laser eyes to evaporate them. Smoking in my house and knocking over milk that could get mold, I'm not going to want to pay for that. And I don't think Santa has insurance. But when Clark does look at Santa, he gives him a very mischievous wink, even a dangerous wink. What are his intentions? So if I was Clark, I'd probably best leave that alone, especially if we look back to Dean Cain, who played Superman in the 90s. Definitely won't want him winking at me like that. And then the book really comes to its tail end. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like down of a thistle. No idea what that means in the 21st century, but Clark just seems to be pretty tired about the whole adventure, and he's like, right, well that's it for the night. Better get the cleaning service in tomorrow because there's milk bloody everywhere, there's probably going to be some mold. Okay, so this is my theory. There's one or two options. Clark was so roasted that he imagined the whole thing, or he hallucinated it because he was just so high. Or two, this is the worst Santa in history who has ill-chosen footwear for the winter climate and has so little regard for other people's property, and he's probably just gone on to the next house to smoke and then, I don't know, what else? Throw some honey on some carpet, throw a few bricks through some windows. He probably thinks it's the purge. So look, word to the wise, when you do get festive books, just think, you're going to be reading this till the summer, and they're not short, they're long. So again, if you are going to get them, get one that's maybe 4 pages. Alright, so the book of the week. What we've gone with is Guess How Much I Love You. Now, I adore this book. I do seem to find books that are more focused on dads. Maybe that is a huge bias, or maybe we just have a lot of them there. I'm sure there are more books out there for the child and the mother, but yeah, if you're a mother, this might not be the one that you want. But it goes through the relationship with little nut brown hair and big nut brown hair, and just saying how much they love each other. And it's lovely illustrated, and yeah, this is one I recommend. I'll put the affiliate link on Amazon to get this, and then we look forward to seeing you next week with our next critique of a book.